Good morning, students. Welcome to our next video series. So, in this second semester, I hope all of you are doing well. So, right? So, be in home, take care of yourself. So, in this semester, I am going to deal with one of the elective papers. So, the elective in this semester I'm going to deal is artificial intelligence. So now this is the subject, this is the syllabus. So I think already I have sent all the required material, that is the syllabus, in our Google Classroom. So you can even subscribe to this to my YouTube channel, so that from today's onwards, so I will be uploading the materials to the recording also, and it will be available in our YouTube, in my YouTube channel also. So now this elective, that is 20 MCA 262, so is the course code, and we are going to deal with the course called as artificial intelligence, right? So now the what is the outcome of this particular course? So at the end of the particular course, so we should know that now what you students are going to learn at the end of the course. Now if you are going to look have a glance about our the course outcome, so in this particular course outcome, so we are having you are going to identify the problems which are related to artificial intelligence. That means what do you mean by an AI or artificial intelligence, how you are going to identify the courses, that is the problems. So whether this particular problem you can solve it AI or you cannot solve it AI, identify the appropriate methods. Now what are the various methods are available through which you can try to attack this particular problem and try to solve this particular problem, formulate this particular problem. And we are going to learn the basic AI algorithms, that means how you are going to write the algorithm. So overall, to be very in a nutshell, now this course artificial intelligence, this is the basic elective course where you are going to start with the fundamental things, right? Now this is the fundamental things. From here onwards, after completion of this course, you will be having a sufficient knowledge about what do you mean by artificial intelligence, what type of problems you can try to formulate with this. Now what are the basic algorithms which is available for us in order to formulate this particular problem. So now here in this course, so like our all the other subjects, now we have got 5 modules are available, and I have already discussed in a nutshell each module. So what are the each module, the contents of each module already in the online classes, but anyhow in a brief we will try to look what are the modules we are having. So in the first module, so we'll be talking about the introduction to AI, and what do you mean by a production system, that means the definition of AI, how to recognize the problems, what are the various characteristics it is having, right? So what do you mean by production system, and some of the searching algorithms. So why searching is very important, some algorithms, some very standard and basic algorithms we are going to discuss in our module 1. In the second module we'll be talking about the knowledge. So what is a knowledge, what is the knowledge representation, what are the different methods we are having in order to represent the knowledge, like we start with propositional logic, then predicate logic, then we have got predicate calculus, how to reason the knowledge. So those things we are going to discuss in our second module. In the third module, inferencing the knowledge. So once you have got the knowledge, now how to represent and how you are going to infer that particular knowledge. Now basically in this third module we are combining with the knowledge representation and our fuzzy logic. So right, we will be discussing about the Bayesian networks and how we are trying to have various different types of inferencing are there. And coming to the fourth module, planning. So once you have the knowledge how to do the planning, what are the simple planning um, we are having, and little bit interaction to the machine learning, and finally expert system. So some of the examples we are going to discuss about our expert system. So this is the overall we can say that what we are having in our complete course. So this is the overall 5 modules. So as I told initially itself, this is an elective, so we are going to discuss only the fundamental things. So we try to understand fundamentally what do you mean by artificial intelligence, right? from here onwards, so later on you can take your careers in this, try to study more, try to do research more, try to select some of the project related to the AI, so that you can further continue your topic. But as far as when it goes to this particular course, so we are going to discuss about these fundamental aspects only, right? So now we'll start with our definition of the artificial intelligence. Now before going into the definition of artificial intelligence, right, we have to understand few words, or we can say few terminologies we are supposed to understand. Like, say, what do you mean by data? So already you know that when we take one particular program, now what happens, you have got a program, right? So generally when we are going to define what is a program is sorry, you are going to take input. So input you are going to take, right? You write some algorithms. We have our computer, a dumb machine or a black machine, black box, what you are going to call. To this machine we provide input from one end, we are going to write some algorithms, we have some instructions to solve, right? So now these instructions or the algorithms will take input and it is going to give the output. So now what input you are going to give, we generally call it as the data, right? So we are going to call it as the data, and what is the output you are going to get, we call it as the information, right? The data is there and you are going to call it as an information. So what actually you mean by the data then? So now data is nothing but what it is, the data, now it is the raw information. So what is this data, right? You can see here, now the data is what, now raw facts, right? So some raw facts, some in the fact which is not complete, which is unformatted. So even we can call it as unformatted information. Now these raw facts you are going to collect and you process that. When you process that, the result of processing, now you can see here, the result of processing, we call it as information. So what do you mean by now information? It is the result of processing, manipulating and organizing data in response to a specific need. Not only processing, you have to process the data, that is the result. When you are going to process the data, you are going to manipulate that particular data and organizing the data, you are going to keep the data properly in a proper format. So then only we call that as an information. So information, it relates to the understanding of our problem domain. So whatever problem domain is there, you will be able to understand. So this is how we define data and an information. To be very simple, let us take another example. Suppose if I give you one word called as Rama. Now if I give you one particular word as Rama, now what do you mean by this? So when I say that Rama, now is it a data or is it an information, right? So now many of us get confused. So Rama means nothing is there, so it might be a data. So some may argue that it is an information, but actually speaking, when you consider this word or a term Rama, now it is giving you some information, right? What is that information? It is giving you that, so Rama might be a name of a person. That is what information you are going to extract from this particular word. Suppose if I give you only two words, one is Rama and the other one is school. Now when you are going to collect these two words collectively, two separate words, Rama, school, nothing, no information I am able to get from this. I cannot extract any knowledge from this. Then these two separate words becomes data for us, right? Now this is the data. Now you want to process this data, you organize this particular data by putting in some grammars. And when I say that Rama went to the school, so when you are saying Rama went to the school, you are going to process the two data, that is two words Rama and school, put in between some grammars, you get one statement or a sentence, Rama went to the school. From that statement you can extract the information. What is that information you are going to get? You are going to get that, so Rama has gone to the school, so he is a student, he is going to a school, so he has gone to the school. Some information you are going to get from that. So this is how you try to define what is called as an data and an information, right? So the next term now you are going to understand here is the knowledge. So what do you mean by the knowledge? So knowledge means it relates to the understanding the solution domain, what to do. So the next level, so once you have all the information, the next immediately after the information is our knowledge, right? So it is about complete understanding of your domain, right? Now you say that, okay, if you consider a C programming language, one subject, if you try to consider now, when you have understood that programming language properly, when you have got sufficient information, then you can say that yes, you are having some knowledge in that particular domain, right? Now what is that domain? Your one language or one particular subject. This is how we define what is called as a knowledge. So next is intelligence, this next level. So we started with the data, then information, then the third level knowledge, after knowledge intelligence. So that means, so if you have sufficient knowledge, I cannot call any person that he is intelligent until and unless he knows how to use that knowledge, right? No, I cannot call my this particular system or laptop, I cannot call laptop as an intelligent machine. Why I cannot call? You can we can argue, right? So why we cannot call this system as an intelligent system, my mobile as an intelligent device or a system? Why we cannot call? It has got all the data. I have put all, let us say that I have put 1,000 textbooks on e-textbooks of C programming language. I have copied so many C programs in that. Do you think that after providing all so much of knowledge and data, can I call this machine as, yes, it is an intelligent machine in C, you give any problem to this computer, it will solve? No, it cannot solve any problem, even though it has thousands together program. If any give you a problem, it is you who is going to write the program. That means how to use that knowledge. So so what do you mean now intelligence is that now how you are going to use whatever knowledge you are having, right? And how you are going to apply that particular knowledge in a given situation. If you are able to apply that knowledge properly, then only we call it as an intelligent machine, right? This is the some few basic terms from here, and now we will be going into the definition of artificial intelligence, right? Now before going to the actual artificial intelligence, now we will see that, like, say, these are some of the simple examples which I have taken. So AI in fiction, so already in fiction, you know that, so we have seen n number of quite a couple of movies, Bollywood, sorry, Hollywood movies, like say Terminators series of movies, where you have seen a robot, so which is acting an intelligent killing robot. It is very intelligent, right? And also, like say, some of the examples, some of the movies like Matrix, so where the smart machine that took over the human race and made them live in a simulated world. So we have seen in our fiction or in the movies, how the robots and how the intelligent machines are taking over the human being. What is interesting in our artificial intelligence? So there are certain other examples which I want to which we have copied or taken it from the thing, like say robots, so which can act like a laborers, right? We can use them to do certain works. So especially in the science and technology, you know that in the space and all, where human beings going is very difficult, so we can send our robots. Search engines right now, whatever the search engines we are using, the Google or Google Assistant, so all these are already using the artificial intelligence today with your mobile phone, right? So when you are going to tell your mobile phone using Google Assistant that, okay, try to make a call to some particular person, so without touching the mobile phone, with our voice we are able to command that particular device, right? Now some intelligence so we are using AI in our search engine also. So when we are going for medical diagnosis, it's also there. Even in Netflix, so you know already the Netflix, now it is using very intelligent programs now, which gives us the movie recommendations. So there are various areas also, right? Now this is one of the example called as the AISMO. So it is one of the intelligent, we can say, innovations in our robotic world. It is a humanoid robot, now which is able to, that is which is called as advanced step in innovation mobility, AISMO. So it is able, this particular robot ASIMO, it is able to move the objects, it is able to recognizing, it can recognize the objects, gestures, handshaking, sound. So much of things this particular robot can perform, right? Similarly, now we have got something called as the DARPA challenge. So every year, so there is some challenge which is going on, or we can say certain race is going on with respect to the automated vehicles, right? So which is called as the DARPA Grand Challenge. So every year there will be the challenge. You can just Google it and check about this. So all these device, these are the automated device. There won't be any drivers here, so it is controlled, completely intelligent. Now the programs have been written, and there are so many people who are trying to bring their own devices, and there is a challenges, driving challenges also happening. Just another example. And another interesting which I was discussing in our previous online class is that about the chess games. Now this is called as the Deep Blue. In the 1960, IBM came up with this particular machine. So they came up with a Deep Blue machine, so which can play the chess game. Initially, when this machine was being built, it was at one particular level. It lost few games to the chess grandmasters. Later on, now it started winning, because gradually when the machine started playing chess, so day by day when it started playing chess with the grandmaster, it started learning on its own. That is what we call artificially intelligence. So the machine became so expert by playing games every day, or we can say now and frequently, so that, so even the grandmasters found it very difficult to defeat this particular machine. So this is another example, a few examples which have been taken. So with these examples, now we will try to understand formally how we are going to define what is called as an artificial intelligence. So now we can say that AI is a branch of computer science. It is a branch of a computer science which is concerned with the study and creation of computer system. Now we are going to study some domain, right? The domain may be related to mathematics, it may be related to games. Later we'll see the different areas, right? Whatever may be the domain area. So now we are going to study that domain area and creation of computer systems that exhibits some form of intelligence. So we want our machine to exhibit some form of intelligence, or those characteristics which we associate with intelligence in human behavior. That means when you are telling a particular person an intelligent, right? So now there will be some characteristic which is associated with him, otherwise you are not going to call him as an intelligent. Now what is that characteristics, how you are telling, or how you are saying the particular person is an intelligent based on certain characteristics. Now we want that similarity in our machine. So we say that AI is a branch of computer science which is concerned with the study and creation of computer systems that exhibit some form of intelligence, or those characteristics which are associated with the intelligent machine, right? So now we have there are so many other definitions also given by various researchers. So we will try to understand, we'll try to see, look into some of the very important popular definitions. Now one of the definitions, now it says that it was given by Hageland in 1985. Now what this definition says: the exciting new efforts to make computers things. This is important. So to make computer things, machine with minds in the full and literal sense. Right? This is one of the definition which is been given. Similarly, another definition given by Bellman was the automation of activities that we associate with human thinking, right? Human thinking activities such as decision making, problem solving, learning, etc. So now this, both these definitions, what it is giving an idea is that we want to make a machine which thinks like humans. This is what the idea, you can, from these two definitions, this is what we are going to extract. What we want some machines now which can think like human beings. So whenever an activities, if I want to take some decisions, I have to think. If I want to solve some problems, I have to think. I'm going to learn, right? Now we want the systems which can think like human beings. This is one angle. Similarly, now there are another definitions. Now what does this particular definition says? The art of creating machines. The art of creating machines. We know that writing program is also an art, right? So programming, when you have started define a program, means the art of writing instructions. This is how we use here also, the art of creating machines that performs functions that requires intelligence when performed by the people. So now we want to create machines that perform functions which requires intelligence when it is performed by people. Now when human beings are performing some tasks which really requires intelligence, such a type of a task I can be try to make a machine to perform that type of a task. That means now what we are saying, we want to build a system which can act like human beings. So in the first definition, thinking like human being, right? So now thinking like human being is, once again, it's very difficult for us to achieve that particular thing. Why? Because so thinking like human beings, or we'll be talking of cognitive science, so where we have to first understand how our human brain is going to think. Now we know that our brain is so complicated that till today the scientists are unable to identify that how the brain is working. It is very complicated device, my students. Okay, so the brain is such a complicated device that till today we don't have any answer. We don't have a perfect answer that this is how it is going to work. Now when you don't have an answer how our brain is going to work, then how you can make a machine to work similar to our brain like a human? So thinking like human, it's still difficult for us to make machines which can think like human. But acting like human, somewhere we can do it, right? Because how humans are doing, so we look into the characteristics, same type of things we can make the system also to do. Like say robot is going to copy whatever I am going to do, right? In that sense, this particular definition are saying. Even the Ritchie and Knight, now this is the prescribed textbook for us for this particular course. Now according to the author, now what how they defined AI. They told that study of how to make computers do things at which the moment we are doing better. That means people are doing right now what all the task we human beings are doing well, but we want machine to do the same task better than us. Already we are doing it in a better manner. It's no doubt that we are not doing that task. There are certain tasks which right at this moment of time we human beings are certain expert in that particular domain. They are doing excellent. Now what we want machine to do the same task better than us. That's how we want to make the machine. So overall what we can extract from these two definitions is act like humans. Now we want the machines to act like humans. This is the second angle in which the definitions are being given. Now similarly, now let us take another definition. It's also a definition of AI only. Now what it says that the study of mental faculties through the use of computational models, right? Computational models. See, as think when we human brains or when we people are thinking something, so now there are certain very complicated models which goes in our brain. So based on that we try to think so much of things. Like say when we are talking a small kid, so how does a small kids or small babies try to differentiate red color and green color? How they differentiate the color, we don't know, right? Do you people know? Now you can tell that okay, this is red and this is green. But you go back to your child days when you were small kid, when you were, we don't know that how you try to understood or how you try to differentiate it. Okay, this is red and this is green. Some people or your parents have taught that this is what red color this it looks. But when you go to that level as a kid, Now there is lot of calculations happens in our brain. Based on that we are going to do it. You try to think something. All right, the study of computation that makes it possible to perceive, reason and act. What makes you to act, right? Let's say for example, now when you are looking, or when you are sitting, suddenly if somebody tries to throw something to your face, right? Or just if they move their hand, what happens? Your eyes, you try to close your eyes. What made you to close your eyes? If something is going, if somebody is trying to throw in front of you, in front of your face something, you just close your eyes. What makes you that? Has anyone taught you that you should close the eyes? No, right? You are not, automatically it is happening. Why? There is something which happens in our brain which thinks. So now what this definition tells, that we want to build a machine which thinks rationally. Now you are going to think rationally. So thinking rationally means acting rightly. Sorry, thinking rightly. You are going to think. So if you want to do anything, we human beings think, right? So now we want our machine also to think rightly. Again, this is a very complicated task. So thinking rationally, building a machine which can think rationally, again it's very challenging for us. Till today it is a challenging. This is the third angle in which we are going to do it. The next is, another definition is, computational intelligence is the study of the design of intelligent agents, expert systems. Now what we call intelligent agents. Now already we have some systems. That is what we are going to say. AI is concerned with intelligent behavior in artifact, right? So that is act rationally. See, thinking rationally is very difficult to build a machine, but acting rationally, we can give some rules, we can build some expert system. So the machine is so expert based on all the knowledge that it acts properly, because based on certain logical reasoning, we can try to act rationally. Certain rules are there. Like say for example, now you have got some mathematics rules which says A implies B and B implies C. Therefore, what you can conclude, A implies C. Why? Because that is some rules which from mathematics we are following. If these rules are given to a machine, it will follow based on that particular rule. That means it is acting correctly. So many of the times now it happens that, so acting rationally also does not works, right? Say for example, common sense reasoning is another difficult task till today for AI researchers. We cannot build a system, we cannot build a robot which can have a good common sense reasoning like how we human beings are having. Say for example, I was discussing in the online classes. So if you want to cross a particular road, right? So now if you want to cross a road, now what happens is that a big highway you want to cross. So now if you are going to think that, okay, now I will think rationally and act rationally, don't want to use my common sense, then what happens? How do you think and act rationally? So thinking rationally, you stand at one end of the road, you want to cross that particular road. How many vehicles are coming? A car is coming or a two-wheeler is coming. What is the velocity in which the car is coming, right? If you start taking all the physics formulas, calculate one by one, and how fast I can go, ಇದೆಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, if after doing all these things, if you keep one leg on the road, the vehicle will come and hit. Nobody is going to do it like that, right? What you do? Common sense. You just see how far distance, how far the vehicle is there, how far it is coming. If you have potential, you run and cross the road, otherwise wait for that vehicle to go. Just common sense. Or like say for example, if I sharpen this pencil very tip, very sharp, and if I drop it from here, the nib will broke. It is a common sense. Nobody, for this I need not uh, do any doctorate, right? So nothing is there. No rocket science is there. It's very simple common sense reasoning. So thinking rationally and acting rationally every time, it cannot holds good. So it depends upon our problem area and the domain area. So particularly to those type of domains, now you are going to have this type of a system. So this is what now we are going to tell, that think rationally and act rationally. So there are other definitions are also. This is what we have defined. We can extract what it says. Artificial intelligence is the study of how to make computers do the things. This is what already we defined by Ritchie. This is what definition he gave. Now another, it's it is a science and engineering of making intelligent machine, especially intelligent computer system, right? We discussed it is related to similar task of using computers to understand human intelligence, right? But AI does not have to confine itself to methods that are biologically observed. So another important definition given by John McCarthy, who is called as the father of intelligence, how he defined, he told or he defined that AI is nothing but the science and engineering of making intelligent machine, especially intelligent computer programs. So he told that computer programs, how you are going to make the computer programs to be more intelligence. Right? These are the same some of the definitions which has been available. So why we are going to discuss this intelligence or artificial intelligence right now, when we are going for this right now in the industry, everybody are talking about AI, machine learning, AI and machine learning. These are the two words which you are going to find. Why this has become today so important for us? Only reason is that the technology. So artificial intelligence was there long back in 50s itself, it was there, but today why it is making a very much sound in the industry is that the technology we are having right now, we have very high databases, so we can store huge amount of uh, data in us, like say big data, right? Data warehouse, big data, we say lot of data we can store easily, so we need not worry. Computation has increased, the calculation, the speed in which the systems are working right now. So even right now you might be using, many of you might be using mobile phone which is faster than my laptop. See the speed, a small mobile phone speed is greater than the laptop. So the speed, the data, the technology has improved so much that, so today uh, the AI and machine learning is picking up in the market. So these are the few definitions and the fundamental things about our AI. So now two views of AI goals. So what is that main two views, or this what we discussed right now, is that one is AI is about duplicating what the human brain does, that is cognitive science. We want to duplicate how our human brain is working. That's what we said. Act like human, think like human, right? We have discussed in two angles. One is thinking like human being and acting like human being. We want to duplicate what human brain is doing. That is what we call cognitive science. The second two, another two angle was that AI is about duplicating what the human brain should do. So what our human brain should do, that is think rationally and act rationally. Logically you follow certain rules, so logically you are going to think some steps there are there, so you apply logically, think rationally. So this is the two views in which we have defined. So this is what then right now we discuss. We can broadly characterize the AI systems into these four angles. In these four angles we can try to define what do you mean by an artificial intelligent machine, right? So now systems that thinking like human. So I think just till now we have already discussed. Here we'll just go fast. So what do you mean by thinking like human? Most of the time our machine or computer is called as a black box, where we are not clear about the thought process. There is nothing thought process involved, just writing some algorithms, and the machine will just perform the algorithms, and if the algorithm is correct it will give correct output, otherwise it is wrong. So there is no thought process involved. But what we want is that we want our machines to function just like our brain. So how our brain is functioning, in that manner we want to process the information. So then only we can say that you can build a system that can think like human beings. So the thinking like human beings, which is called as the area of cognitive science. So how our human brain is working. So based on that we have a lot of subsets, course itself called as neural networks. So which talks about how the human brain is working and how we want to simulate that particular brain with another device and use the device and the programs into our machines. This is about the thinking like human. Similarly, a system that acts like human beings, the overall behavior of system should be human like. So we want to design the entire programs or machine which can act like human beings. This also we have discussed. And system that think rationally. Rationally means correctly, right? So such systems rely on logic. So there are certain rules, there are certain logic, so you want to think based on that particular logic only. Like say for example, now if you want to play the chess game, now when you are playing chess game there is certain rules. You cannot play the chess however we want, right? There are certain rules. Based on that rules, based on the logic, you are going to build the program. Now there is another I think a game so which you might have learnt in your when you are small kids, like say if there will be a square box like this, right? Now you will be having some tiles, right? So there will be some numbers written like say 1 2 3. There will be 4 5 6 7 8 and one tile will be empty. This will be an empty tile and you can scramble all this number. One tile is empty. Now you can move this tile anywhere and you can say, so you can scramble this and we can say that you arrange these tiles in this particular fashion. Now when you are doing this, playing this particular game, if you any moment of time you can go back, undo, right? If you find that okay this move the tile here you have moved is wrong, means you can move it to some other place and you can go back. But in chess, once you make a move, you cannot go back because there is some logic, there is certain rules which has been written. That's what we say thinking rationally. So rationally means here what we say that we are going to have certain rules, some logic, some logical formulas will be there, some theories will be there. Like say for example, another example, now if you have a statement says that John is human, so we have a statement John is a human being. The second statement, all humans are mortal. Now what we are having first statement, this is the first knowledge what we have, John is human being and all humans are mortal. So with these two, what is the conclusion you can make, right? What is the reasoning you can make, what logically you can conclude? So logically you can conclude that John is mortal. Why you are telling John is mortal? Because you have one statement which says all humans are mortal. When all humans are mortal and John is a human, so you can conclude that John is mortal. How? Based on logic, right? This is what we say system should think rationally, right? The next angle is system that acts rationally. So rational behavior means doing right things. So you should be able to act rationally, but you have to see that so many of the times acting rationally won't work. So we have to use our common sense reasoning also. So now the next is that when we discuss the first angle like thinking rationally, so one of the important test, or we can say the experiment which was conducted long back was Turing test. Already we have discussed in our class. So this was a very important test. Now if you want to build a machine and say that okay you have built a machine which is thinking like human beings, it has to pass this Turing test. So what was this Turing test? Now it was named, it was performed by Alan Turing and it is named after him itself, called as Turing test. So in the year 1950s he conducted this particular test. Now what this test says that here you have got a wall. Now there is an human interrogator. One person is going to ask some questions. Other side of the wall there are, here one human being is there, one program or a machine is there. This person, so now this person, he don't know that in this other side, he don't know that there is a machine. He don't know anything, right? So he is just asked one question. Now this will give, this human being has to give an answer, then this machine also will give you an answer. Now if he thinks that, then if you ask him that how was the answers he got and who gave the answers. Now if he is convinced that he got two answers and both are correct and both are given by human beings, then we can say the machine has passed the AI test. But actually this is not human being, but he thinks that it is a human because the answer is so well. Then we can say it has passed the Turing test, right? So this is what, again, when we are saying acting humanly, means obviously to pass this Turing test, the computer or a robot, it should have the following things. One is natural language processing. So the machine should be able to communicate successfully. It should be able to understand the natural language processing or English or any other, because the robot has to take your commands and act based on that particular command. Similarly, knowledge representation. So how the knowledge it is going to store, and how it is being represented, and how it is going to reason that particular knowledge. And of course the machine learning means it has to adapt to new circumstances. So every day if anything new thing comes, automatically it should learn. The machine has to learn. So once if I program the machine enough, later on every day I need not teach that machine will learn on its own by its experience. That is what we call machine learning. So now these are the main branches of AI also we can say. So when you are talking about AI branches, machine learning is a branch, deep learning. So nowadays we have got another branch called as deep learning. So deep deep learning is a branch, machine learning, natural language processing, knowledge representation, and even we can say pattern recognition, image recognition. All these are the various branches of artificial intelligence. So if you look into the characteristics of an AI system, so what characteristics of the AI system should have? So first thing is that learn new concept and task. So your machine should be able to learn new things or new tasks, reason and draw useful conclusion about the world around us. So it should be learning new things, and it should conclude new things also about us. It should be able to infer, right? It should be able to infer, understand the natural language, vision, right? So the when we are building a robot, means it should have a camera. So with that camera it has to capture the object surrounding that, and based on the object it should be able to recognize what is that object, where it is that object, if a robot wants to move. See, it's lot of things are being involved when we are talking of an artificial intelligence, right? So even the planning also is required. That is what all these things, one by one points, what you are going to read here. Now all these points are nothing but we will be covering in our entire course. So all one by one points, knowledge representation, searching, then planning, all these things we will be looking into our due course. So this is about the basic what we have defined with respect to the uh, artificial intelligence, right? So now we are going to look into the problem areas, right? Now what are the different areas we are having? So we will be trying to cover this in our next video series. So we will be looking into the what are the different areas we are having the AI problems, what is the few important points. Now before defining a particular problem, what is an AI technique? Now how we are going to solve that particular problem? So every problem cannot be solved. So what type of a problem? So we will discuss all these things in our next video series. So thank you for watching this particular video, and try to subscribe to my channel, so whenever I am uploading the new videos you will be trying to get the notification. So have a nice day. So thank you very much. Bye bye.